Hey everybody, I'm Phillip here with Royal Oak, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to prep and cook some ribeyes today. Something that should, in my opinion, always be done on the grill. You get better heat and better flavor than you will any other method. I'm going to be using Royal Oak all-natural lump charcoal. This is perfect for the steak application because it burns hotter than briquettes. It doesn't burn as long, but you can get a better sear than you can if you're using any other charcoal. Sometimes I'll combine this with some wood chunks in order to get a little extra flavor, but today we're just going to be going straight hardwood charcoal. So we're going to load this into 1/2 of the grill. And you're going to want to put a good amount down in there because we're going to want the temperature to hit between 600 and 700 degrees on the hot side. I'm not going to put anything on the cool side. That way we have a little bit of a control if someone wants their steak to be a little bit more well done, or if you end up with a lot of flare-ups or your hot side's burning too hot, it's a safety valve. You can always move things over to the cooler side, that way you don't scorch your meat. Alright, so these are tumbleweeds. They are a natural wood product. I'm going to be using those instead of lighter fluid because you never want to use lighter fluid in one of these ceramic grills. It'll cause it to crack. Also, a lot of people just don't like using lighter fluid, so this is a great option for you. So we're going to nestle several of those down into the charcoal. And today I'm going to be using 2. So nestle those down in there. So here we have 2 beautiful ribeyes, to be a little under an inch thick, and it's important to get these out about an hour ahead of time for 2 reasons. First is you want these to come up to room temperature before you throw them on the grill. That's very important to get even doneness. The second thing we're going to do, just dry them off on both sides completely. And then we're going to salt both sides very well. And you're going to want to put more salt on these than you normally would, because over that hour, that salt is going to soak in, it's going to soak into the meat, and it's going to do 3 things. Of course, is flavor the meat. And the second thing it's going to do is going to help with your moisture control, because salt is hygroscopic, so it's going to soak down into the meat and help the meat hold the moisture as you're cooking. The other thing it's going to do is it's going to draw a little bit of moisture toward the surface, and that moisture is full of protein. And with that little layer of extra protein on the top, it's going to help with the Maillard effect. So you're going to get a lot nicer browning on your meat. General rule is to put your salt on there and leave it for about an hour per inch of thickness on the meat. And you don't really need to worry about the danger zone in terms of bacteria and things like that in the meat's ambient temperature, because the salt on the outside will help keep the meat safe from bacteria, and we're going to be throwing it on the grill and killing any surface bacteria anyway, so you're all good just leaving this out to come to room temperature. So before we put the steaks on, we're going to go ahead and add just a little bit of oil to each one. You don't want to put too much. That will help ensure even browning. Across the whole steak. And then right before we put these on the grill, we're also going to wipe the grates down with a little bit more olive oil. And we're going to use that to lube up the grates. And you can see the grates are already smoking a little bit. That means that they are hot and ready to go. So we are going to start these steaks on the hot side, and they're probably going to stay there the entire time since they are a little thin, and I like mine medium rare. So we're going to lay them as far apart as possible. Alright, so you'll notice I've left the grill open. That's because we want We want the flare-ups. We want the juices to be dripping down, causing a little bit of extra flavor, and the flames and the smoke to come up. It's going to add a lot of great flavor to the steaks. It also helps keep your temperature up. You'll notice these steaks, they're not that thick. If they were closer to 1.5 inches, I would probably be closing the lid. That way they didn't char as quickly on the outside. After about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, we're going to give them we're going to toss them, and we're going to turn them 90 degrees. That way we get those really nice cross marks on the steak. Okay. It's been another 1.5 minutes. Okay. These steaks are done. Now I like mine medium rare, which means I will take them off when the internal temperature hits 130. All right, guys, so that's how you cook the perfect steak on Royal 100% all natural hardwood charcoal.